Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Wow, what a week it's been. You guys have been busy. My God, you were merciless to me the other night. Wow. About all these movies that I've not seen, especially Lethal Weapon. The curse of Lethal Weapon is just continuing to haunt me. I have actually got it now, and I will be watching it very shortly, hopefully this week, in which case I will give you my opinion next weekend. And I've also made a note of all the other movies that you mentioned, including the sequels, Commando, all that kind of thing. I've written them all down, and I'm going to be wading my way through them, sort of bit by bit. So, I mean, let me just clear this up once and for all. This thing with I did work at a video shop. Yes, I was there for probably about 18 months, maybe a little bit longer. Now, the guy that ran it before I did was an old schoolmate of mine. I think it was him that actually got me the job. And he told me that it was just a brilliant job because all he did was sit around watching films all day. And I thought, yeah, that sounds all right. But having started the job, I realised it was actually a job and not just an excuse to sit around watching movies. So I used to keep fairly busy. You'll know this, Jason, because you must have seen me doing this, rearranging the shelves, dusting the shelves, hoovering the carpets, washing the windows, doing all sorts of bits, and obviously serving customers in between them. It didn't actually leave me an awful lot of time to be watching films, certainly not at work. And I think it's a work ethic that my dad drummed into me. And when he found out that I was actually working at a video shop, the first thing he said to me was, "You're not going to be sitting around watching films all day, are you?" And I said, "No, of course I'm not. It's a job." And that's basically how I approached it. I treated it as a job. I did used to take movies home with me, not very many because the hours were quite long. All the jobs that I had years ago were usually jobs with long hours attached to them. And again, it didn't leave me much time to watch them. So yes, I did work in a video shop, but I certainly didn't sit around watching movies all day. So this thing was with oh, you should have seen this and you should have seen that. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm now putting that right by catching up with them bit by bit. I've started on Iron Man, so my journey through the MCU universe continues. I'm about halfway through that. And I've had to obviously break off to do this. I'll watch the end of that one later. But all of these other movies, I love everything you were saying, by the way. All these little videos you were posting about what I've not seen, and all these fake posters, and Joe with your letter from Mel Gibson. They were all absolutely brilliant. It kept me well entertained that night. I absolutely loved it. But I just thought I'd tell you why. Well, partly why I'd not actually seen these movies that I really should have seen by now, and it was mostly because of the job, i.e. the job, not the fact that I was working in a video shop and had the chance to watch videos all day. It didn't really work like that. I wish it had, because obviously it was torture for me watching all these brilliant movies come in, sort of 10, 20 copies, 30 copies of a movie that used to block up one section of the racking. And just basically watching them go out one by one. You get 30 copies of something like Predator. I remember that came out. And all 30 went, every single one of them. And obviously we weren't allowed to put them under the counter and keep for ourselves because that delves into the profits and stuff like that. So that was an absolute no-no. So I'd just stand there basically hoping that one would be left. And the big movies, they never were. Blue Velvet, that was a popular one. Lethal Weapon, again, was a popular one. So that hopefully clears up why I've not seen them. Why I've not seen them since is another matter. But I will be putting that right bit by bit, and I have made a note of all these movies, so I will be catching up with them all and letting you know what I think. But by all means, keep sending me suggestions. These little videos are brilliant, guys. I love them. Please keep them coming through. They are well entertaining. Really, really like them. What else have I got to do? I've got my notes. Oh, now then. Political correctness. They've been at it again. I'll make this quick because I do this every week. I didn't see this personally, so I'm only going on what I've read. But apparently, I think it was Red Nose Day a couple of weeks ago, David Williams did some kind of a skit impersonating Billie Eilish. Now, I don't know Billie Eilish from Adam. I know she's a singer. She's got coloured hair. That's about all I know about her. Um, the other thing I know about her uh, is that she's one of the new breed that are slowly destroying the Bond themes. I mean, years ago, and I digress here very slightly, years ago, James Bond themes were belted out by the likes of Shirley Bassey, Tom Jones, Nancy Sinatra, Paul McCartney and Wings, Lulu, um, and they seem to have got quieter over the years. And it started with Sam Smith. What on earth were they thinking about? Um, Commissioning Sam Smith to sing a Bond theme, that squeaky little voice. And the ones that followed weren't much better. But this one from Billie Eilish, I just can't relate to it. Like I say, I'm digressing. Anyway, they did this skit on Billie Eilish, and straight off you got these whining little crybabies sort of writing in and emailing in and calling the BBC saying, "Oh, I'm so offended by that. I'm so offended by all this." Oh, God Almighty, grow up, people! For Christ's sakes, it's a laugh. Have we really seriously forgotten how to laugh at ourselves nowadays? I am so wound up with these people. I just wish they would just go into a dark corner and be offended somewhere else. Watch some. If you don't like it, turn the channel over. I mean, I remember seeing many years ago, I Claudius on the BBC, cracking program. But there was an episode, a couple of episodes devoted to uh, the rule of Caligula, Emperor Caligula. Everybody knows he was as mad as a box of frogs. But they did a couple of episodes based around him, and it was actually really graphic. And I remember thinking at the time, I'm not keen on this. And I think the BBC got a bit of flack for it. But again, I just turned it over. That's you just put another channel on. What is the matter with you people? Why do you just have to? Oh, I'm so offended. Do me head in. That's it. I'm not going to go on about that any longer. I'm sure something else will come up in the coming weeks, but I just can't be doing with these whining little crybabies that do my head in. You should have grown up in the 1970s when we had to grow a pair. All of this stuff that you're getting so getting your knickers in a twist over. This was just normal in the 1970s and the 80s. We just had to get used to it. It was just how things were. But I'll come back to that at some point. What else have I got on here? Let me just consult my notes. Oh yeah, I love the Jason. I love the T-shirt, the Jaws T-shirt. Did you say that was from Tesco? Does anybody know where I would get movie-related T-shirts like this, sort of the with the collars and stuff like that? I've been trying to find some on Amazon and I can't get them anywhere. So if anybody knows where you can get movie-related polo shirts similar to the Jaws one that you've got, Jason, but yours is a standard T-shirt, but a polo shirt, then please let me know, because I will be ordering one. Definitely. What else have I got over here? Have I forgotten anything else? Oh, Guy went out on the last the other night. You were going to do a video, but you got too pissed and you couldn't do it. Shame. I was really looking forward to that one. And as for your message from, oh, I've done that one, Mel Gibson. Sorry, even with notes I screw it up. Reviews. Let's do some reviews very quickly. Finally got around to watching Jackass Forever last night. Pizza came at 8 o'clock. Movie was on by 8:05. It's childish, it's juvenile, it's violent. It's one of these don't try this at home things. If you've seen Jackass, you know exactly what you're getting. I thought it was brilliant. We just laughed like drains all the way through it. It was absolutely superb. Just good fun. I would imagine a lot of these guys are going to have fertility problems in the future, because the amount of what you would class as genital torture going on was frightening. A lot of it. There was a lot of wince-inducing moments. I think that's what you called it, Chris. Wince-inducing moments. There were a lot of them. I can't think what the favourite stunt would be. The one I definitely, absolutely could not have done is the one with the spider. No way in a million years would they have got anything like that near me. So that was a definite no-no. I really, really watched that one like this. It's like, oh my God, it's going to go on his face. It was horrible. But the film itself, absolutely brilliant. Laughed all the way through it. Yes, it's childish. Yes, it's juvenile. But this is what you expect from Jackass. So if you've enjoyed the TV series and you've seen the other movies and you enjoyed them, you've got to watch Jackass Forever, because you will just absolutely love it. Now, the other movie I got the chance to watch yesterday, this is one I haven't seen for many, many years, and on a slightly lighter note, Somewhere in Time. Now, I'm going to be publishing a written review on the website very shortly, which I'll share on the Facebook group, and I'd appreciate it if you could just have a read and just let me know what you think. This, to me, is a near perfect movie. This is just... I saw this, I kind of put off watching it. It first came out in 1980. It stars Christopher Reeve, Jane Seymour, and Christopher Plummer. Directed by Jenno Schwartz, who made a lot of the Superman movies, or he was certainly involved with the Superman movies as a producer or something like that. But this is a wonderful movie. It's a romance. It's a time travel. Just to give you a basic idea, it begins in 1972 at the premiere of a play written by Christopher Reeves' character Richard Collier. And a little old lady comes up to him at the premiere and puts an object in his hand, closes his hand, and just whispers to him, "Come back to me." And I was absolutely hooked the first time I saw it from that opening scene. It was just wonderful. He's obviously a playwright, a struggling playwright, with a very successful play. We then fast forward 8 years to 1980. He's suffering from writer's block. He's broken up with his girlfriend and decides to go on a trip. Finds himself on the outskirts of Chicago and at a place called the Grand Hotel, a beautiful old hotel. And the hotel is actually what I would class as the fourth major star of the movie, if not the biggest star. The hotel is just gorgeous. This beautiful old hotel, I believe it's on Mackinac Island in Chicago. He goes to the hotel, checks in, finds what is classed as the Hall of History, which is a little museum within the hotel, and sees a picture of a lady who he becomes absolutely entranced with, falls in love with. He finds out that she was a famous actress in the early 1900s, name of Elise McKenna. And he becomes obsessed with somehow meeting her. He goes back to college to quiz his old professor on whether time travel is possible. And basically through mind control and things like that, he travels back to 1910 to meet Elise McKenna, played by Jane Seymour, and also gets involved with I can't remember his name, played by Christopher Plummer. He's her manager anyway. If you've not seen this movie, as I say, when it first came out, I put off watching it for quite a while. I thought it was going to be a TV movie, a television movie, and it wasn't. It was actually a big screen release. And it wasn't very successful when it first came out, but it's gained a cult following throughout the years, to the point where there is even a Somewhere in Time enthusiast society that meet at the hotel and have done every year for the past 40 years. This film is just wonderful. As I say, it's a romance, it's a time travel drama. There are no special effects in it, there are no flashy time machines or anything like that. It's all done up here, and that's what I loved about it. Jane Seymour and Christopher Reeve have never been better. If you were to ask me what my favourite Christopher Reeve movies were, I would say third place would probably be Superman the movie. Number two would be Death Trap, which was an Agatha Christie style uh, piece that he starred in with Michael Caine and Diane Cannon. I love that movie, and number one would definitely be Somewhere in Time. It is an absolutely wonderful movie. The music in it is just gorgeous. You've got a score by John Barry, and you've also got a couple of pieces by Rachmaninoff playing in there. They evoke the time absolutely magnificently. So, if you've not seen this, I would strongly advise you to grab a copy of this and just watch it, because it is just the most gorgeous movie, and it is not the last time I'll be seeing this. I'll be watching this again very soon. I put it on again last night. Now, this is the first time I've put a movie on twice in a day for quite a while, but I watched the first half of it again, and I am definitely going to be watching this again without a doubt. So Somewhere in Time, Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour, well worth it. Now, purchases this week. Commando, this is the only one. I couldn't find a decent copy, so I decided to go for this. I believe this is the one Jason's got, the director's cut. I don't know what versions are on this, whether it's just the director's cut and the theatrical cut, but apparently it is uncut and uncensored, which is basically why I was drawn to it. So I will be watching that probably at the same time as I watch Lethal Weapon, and I'll be doing a review of that one when I've watched it. It's another one that I've not seen. It did come out when I was working at the video shop, and I do remember us getting many copies, and they were out pretty much every day for at least the first week. So yeah, I will be having a look at that one. Bin it or keep it. Bin it or keep it this week is this one, Girls Trip. I bought this a long time ago. I watched it again. Well, I say I watched it again. I watched it for the first time probably 3-4 days ago. It was okay. It's a typical. It's a bit like a hen night. All these women go out on this trip to. I think it's Las Vegas. They go. I can't remember. Is it there? Oh, New Orleans. And it's just a lot of giggly women getting drunk and doing stupid things. It was all right. I mean, but I'm fairly sure that I would not watch it again. As I say, that's called Girls Trip. You've got Queen Latifah's in there, and a few other actresses that I've not actually heard of. But it was all right. But it's not one that I'm going to be watching again. So I'm afraid this is a bin it. So Girls Trip is going in the bin to the charity shop. Now then, the quote for this week. I've gone right back with this one, way back. I think certain people will know this. It's a very famous film, but it is an old movie. I mean, black and white, and I'm going back a lot of years. The quote is simply this, just one line. It was beauty killed the beast. That's it. It was beauty killed the beast. Drop your answers in the comments, or drop me one of your memes. I love me memes. Let me know if you know what that is. I'm fairly sure Chris will get it. Then about Jace, not sure. They did actually remake this film quite recently, so whether they used that quote in the remake, I can't remember. But if they did, Jason will definitely get it. So I think that's it for this week, guys. I think I've bored you for long enough. It's going to be a gorgeous day out there. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll be back next week. I'm going to watch the end of Iron Man. I'm going to do my very best to get Lethal Weapon watched, so that I can lay this curse to rest once and for all. As for the sequels, I don't know. I will grab hold of them, but I'm just mainly interested in watching the first one first off. What else am I going to be watching? I'll tell you what, I'll let you know I've actually watched it, because I do this every week. I promise I'm going to watch something and then never get round to it, and it's about 3 weeks later when I finally get round to seeing it. So, but I will be back next week with a fresh crop of all sorts of stuff. Thanks ever so much for joining me. If you've enjoyed the video, just give us a thumbs up and also subscribe. That would be absolutely brilliant. Have a great weekend, folks, and I will talk to you all again next weekend. Take care. Ta-da.